Hey there, we have another review. Um, 2013 Goose Island, Bourbon County barley wine, baby. Mamma mia, Mr. Spear. One of the goats. One of the goats. 2013, 13-year-old bottle. Let's see how it holds up. Not much, too much hiss on that opening. Sorry for the noise. And actually, fitting glassware. That's a Goose Island stem right there. See? Oh wait, you guys can see that, right? Goose Island, baby. Goose Island. Yeah. I actually don't know where they came from. I have 6 of these. On where they came from. Something's up. Something's up. I'm gonna have to talk to my mom because something's up. All my beers all of a sudden got drank, and then I have like 6 Goose Island glasses. I don't know where they came from. I definitely didn't have that before I moved. So where did they come from? I don't know, bro. I'm very confused. Anyway, let's dig into the barley wine. So beer comes in a really beautiful kind of like it's dark for a barley wine. If you don't know, this beer is this is they before the infection issue. So this actually, can you read it? Does it say it? Yeah. Well, this is before the infection issue, and they no longer do it. But this used to be um, in Bourbon County barrels, like Bourbon County style barrels, and then they aged the barley wine in those casks, which is crazy. And this what made this beer very special. So, smells a bit old, a little bit oxidized, but barley wine, sweet, molasses, honey, sugar, creme brulee, caramel, a little bit of chocolate notes in there too. Because again, I always love this beer for having that kind of like little edge of Bourbon County Stout character in the barley wine. Could you imagine Bourbon County Stout and barley wine? By the way, back in the day, that was a trick. Blending this and Bourbon County Stout. That was amazing. So cheers. Have it nice and warmed up. Literally sitting in my cellar, 50, 60 degrees. Thin, thin, aged, but good. Sorry, can't see my face. Dang, this beer was good. It was good. Again, when you age a beer 13 years, it just passes prime, baby. Boy, is that good though. It just so many reminders of what it tasted like. Oof. Oh boy. All right, let's get back to this. So, dark fruit, cherries, plums, uh, figs, dates, dried dates, caramel sweetness, bourbon booze. The bourbon's really been tamed. There's really a lacking kind of like complexity of the cask coming in. That kind of like big bourbony alcohol character has sort of tamed down. It's got this beautiful sticky creme brulee caramel dessert thing that's absolutely delicious. But I will say it's like very thin in the middle. Yeah, it's got a sweetness, but it's so thin for beer that's literally what 12% beer. I mean, it's not thin for 12% beer but for what I know this beer has mouthfeel wise, very thin. This beer and Bourbon County are always just like big fat beers, right? Like you can definitely buy 12% beers that are really thin and like boring. This was a full bourbon cask experience where the barrel was so prominent, along with some of that kind of Bourbon County stout character. The stout character is really diminished, I feel. But yeah, dark fruit, bourbon, booze, just lacking complexity. The caramel and all that toffee caramel richness is still there, but it's just not as fat. The carb is a little bit lighter now. The mouth feels thinner, and it's oxidized to this point of oxidation. Sometimes it's like papered. This is very honeyed. That's what it is, honey. I kept saying all these like other adjectives of sweetness, caramel, blah blah. The big one here is honey. It tastes like literally like It tastes like somebody made me an imperial stout, and they got one of those big, what are those like yeah, Honey Nut Cheers. Remember the commercials where that comb thingy, and just went poof, plopped a bunch of honey into my glass and just stirred it in there. It's very honey forward. The oxidations pushed honey. For 4,000 reviews, you've never heard the word honey as much as I just said it. Sorry. Um, Now I mean it. It honestly almost has this mead kind of characteristic to it. Yeah. If you told me this was some kind of like blend of like barrel aged stout and mead, I'd be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Very meadish, if that's a word. Meadish. First time I ever said that either too, right? So the first time using honey, the amount of the word honey that many times in reviews, and then creating the word meadish. Anyway, this is good beer. This is good beer. Not great. Sorry. This is a great beer, not world class. Still very good. It's very old. You can taste it. It's very old. I'll say my name and drink it. It's just so sweet and like it lacks balance. It's a shame. Shoot. I should have been reviewing these beers. I'm trying to think. Yeah, a little bit of that oxidative character on back end now. I mentioned it. It does have a little bit of like staleness to it. Still good. 87. 87. Until next time, guys. Cheers. Again, if this was fresh, easily one of the greatest, not even close, one of the greatest barrel aged barley wines I've ever had in my life. And we literally like in the peak of my like trading and bottle shares and days, we literally tried some of the best. Like we traded for all of them. I went to a Barleywine share. This stood up. This was one of the greatest beers of all time, in my opinion. Like in my pantheon of like greatest beers experiences, and I've had this multiple times. One of the greatest beers I've ever had. Shouldn't have aged it 13 years. Until next time, love you. Cheers.